Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a really visceral thought experiment that's going to fundamentally change how you look at the device sitting in your hand right now. I want you to imagine, just for a second, what would happen if the screen you're looking at suddenly became a dead window to nowhere. No warning, no alerts, just a silent pulse.
So, what if the internet shut down worldwide? And to be clear, we're not talking about a local Wi-Fi outage or a temporary glitch with your provider. We are talking about a global, instantaneous unplugging of the entire system. There'd be absolutely no warning, zero countdown timers, and certainly no news headlines arriving in time to calm us down. It would just be a sudden, deafening silence.
Picture those very first moments. No messages coming through, you'd probably just sit there staring at a spinning icon, naturally assuming it's just a personal Wi-Fi glitch, maybe a router problem or a dead phone. You'd probably restart your device, switch off Wi-Fi to try cellular data, completely unaware that this exact same thing is happening to literally billions of people simultaneously. And then that rising irritation kind of sets in, right? No maps to navigate your commute. You might step outside, maybe ask your neighbor if their connection is down too, only to find them staring blankly at their own dead screen. That's the exact moment the terrifying reality begins to spread from person to person as it slowly dawns on us.
It really starts small. No emails, no scrolling social media, no streaming your favorite show. Okay, let's dive into this, because it quickly shifts from simple individual confusion to a profound, incredibly dangerous realization of collective helplessness. We suddenly realize, wow, we are completely cut off from the world.
Think of the internet as our invisible nervous system. Modern civilization isn't just built on it in some abstract way. We are practically fused to it. It's definitely not just entertainment. It's the absolute core of our global logistics, our communication, our healthcare, and even our identity and trust. Shut it down, and sure, the physical body of the world still stands. But the signals? They just completely stop flowing.
Section 1. The physical world freezes when the signals stop.
Let's zoom out to the macro level to really grasp how this technological shutdown instantly triggers a massive physical paralysis all across the globe. The sheer scale of it is staggering. Up in the sky, thousands of planes can physically still fly, but they suddenly lose the digital routing required to land safely at scale. Over at the banks, financial markets and payment rails freeze solid. Inside hospitals, doctors suddenly lose access to critical cloud records and remote imaging. In logistics, massive fleets of delivery trucks are stranded without their routing data. And in retail, card payment lines just halt completely. It would genuinely feel as if the future was just switched off in real time.
Section 2. The psychological shock, a crisis of habit.
But the physical freeze is really only half the story here. The great irony is that even with the network completely dead, people would compulsively keep reaching for their phones. It's exactly like checking for a pulse during a medical crisis. Our modern brains are totally hardwired for millisecond responses. So, when the screen doesn't respond at all, our minds start filling that terrifying silence with pure paranoia. We'd ask ourselves, is this a massive cyber attack?
Or maybe, is it a massive solar storm? You can imagine how rumors would spread like wildfire, which is incredibly dangerous in a world suddenly missing the exact system we designed to verify those facts.
Or, is it deliberate sabotage? Literally everyone, from elite military cyber units and intelligence agencies down to terrified citizens huddled around old radios, would be grasping in the dark for answers. We'd all be entirely trapped by our old digital habits of seeking instant information.
Section 3. The fragility of memory. The cloud evaporates.
Let's pivot to something deeply personal. The internet's disappearance reveals a hidden, frankly heartbreaking truth about where our lives and our memories actually live. So the crucial point is this brutal lesson we'd learn immediately. Nothing stored in systems we do not control is ever truly safe. We kind of trick ourselves into thinking our data is eternal because it's invisible, but the reality is it's incredibly fragile.
We are instantly severed from the cloud. Think about what's sitting there right now. We're talking about your wedding videos, decades of family photo archives, maybe the last saved voice messages of loved ones who've passed away, drafts of a life's work, and vital legal and business records. This kind of global infrastructure failure creates a deeply isolated, purely human panic when millions of people realize their most precious memories might literally be gone forever.
Section 4. Adaptation and unexpected calm. The great pivot. But hey, human beings are incredibly resilient. Amidst all this chaos, humanity would be forced back into an older state of direct dependence on the physical world.
And surprisingly, this would bring a really complex mix of total economic ruin for some, and for a few, a profound sense of relief. And this brilliantly illustrates how different parts of our economy would abruptly swap places. The digital economy, influencers, massive cloud companies, ad platforms, they face complete and total paralysis. Meanwhile, the physical economy adapts and resurges. Cash, paper records, handwritten notes, local radio broadcasts, and face-to-face transactions regain immense value, basically overnight. So this thrusts us into a forced physical re-education. Honestly, let me ask you, how ready are you for these steps right now? Step 1, could you recall your family's vital phone numbers strictly from memory? Step 2, can you actually navigate your city using only printed maps or physical landmarks? How about Step 3, physically locating your actual bank branch to do a transaction? Or Step 4, spreading important news through local neighborhood networks and physical patrols? These are ancient skills, yet they become terrifyingly modern, physical tasks we'd suddenly have to perform without our digital comfort blanket.
Section 5. A new civilization layer. The long aftermath.
Now, for a select few, this heavy silence might actually bring a brief, weirdly calm relief from the endless noise of doom scrolling. But for society as a whole, we'd be facing a daunting, fundamental reorganization. Basically, the duration of the outage dictates our entire fate. In the first few hours, it's immediate isolation and a frantic search for local emergency radio broadcasts. After a few days, severe friction cripples our physical supply chains and medical continuity. By the time we hit weeks, we see the total collapse of remote work, streaming culture, and online education. If it drags on for months, we'd probably see the emergence of totally new communication methods like physical mesh networks. And forever? Well, that means a permanent cultural transformation and the complete reorganization of human civilization as we know it.
We'd also witness a genuinely fascinating shift in power dynamics. The pre-outage power of the screen-based expert immediately gives way to the post-outage authority of physical technicians and mechanics. Digital instructors are completely replaced by boots-on-the-ground in-person teachers. Centralized administration defers to local officials and community organizers who actually know the neighborhood. And social media influencers, they yield all their influence to ham radio operators and nurses. The new leaders in this world are practical, hands-on folks who can operate, organize, and repair things without needing any centralized digital approval. Which leaves us with this final, truly haunting provocation. What if civilization is far more delicate than we're willing to admit? The internet has quietly taught us that convenience and dependence are essentially twins. If this thought experiment pulled you in and got you questioning the hidden weaknesses in our modern world, make sure to engage with this channel. We have so many more fascinating explainers to explore together that uncover the invisible systems running our daily lives. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and as always, stay curious.